This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'd like to be joined by WBO middleweight champion Savannah Marshall. Savannah, been a week since I've seen you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good, thanks.
Doing the media rounds today, so we'll start there. You've signed with Boxer. We haven't spoken on camera about it yet, so talk to me about how this all came about. This deal with Boxer to be fighting on Sky Sports.
It was just, I just believe that it's the best move for me, especially in the position that I'm in. I don't want to be one of them boxers that are around for years. You know, if anything, I want to make as much money as I can, make the biggest impact I can, and then get out of the sport. So for me, I just believe that Sky and Boxer was the best place for me.
Savannah, they've also signed Clarissa Shields, and we'll come on to that fight in a minute. But how important was it in the negotiations that they would seem to have a clear path to make this fight for you that you've wanted to just get on for so long now?
Yeah, 100%. Previous, I was always being told, 18 months down the line, next winter, this and that. So for the fact that obviously I signed with Sky and Boxer, and then within the space of 2 weeks, they've secured Clarissa, it just goes to show that, well, it just tells me that it was the best move that I could have made.
You do have yourself a fight, but before we come on to that, you're going to be back at the Newcastle Arena on October 16th now. You're going to be fighting Lolita Muzeya. Hope I've done her name justice there. 16-0. Never fought outside of Africa before. How much footage have you managed to find of her, and what do you make of her if you managed to see any?
I think that was the biggest task. There's a couple of good footage, the videos on her. She's tall like me. She's about 5'10". She's a boxer. Keeps it long, and she can punch. So I'm expecting quite a tough night from Lolita. Like you said, she hasn't boxed outside of Africa, so her opposition hasn't been the best. But I can't rely on that.
That was what I was going to come on to. We've seen upsets galore, particularly in the last couple of years when fighters come over from Africa, they come over from South and Central America. There's not much footage of them, and they end up being diamonds in the rough. And especially when there's other fights being talked about, such as yourself and Clarissa, I'm sure it's something Peter's drilled home and something you're thinking about, giving her your full respect and not really thinking about what could be beyond.
100%. Like I said, her record speaks for itself, especially the knockouts. She's obviously half and half, so she is a puncher. You don't really get knockouts in women's boxing, not really at that level. I think she's won the WBC international. I think she's won that twice. So yeah, I can't let up for a second with Lolita.
You can punch, she can punch by the sounds of things. Think this will make for an exciting fight, with that said?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. I think it's a tough fight. I think, like you said there, it's easy for me to overlook her and other people, but no, I believe this is going to be if not my toughest fight to date.
Just a couple more before I let you go. Last time we saw each other, you were on Punditry duty in Leeds. I wanted to ask you a bit about that. How do you find doing that side of things compared to fighting?
So I've did a bit of work for BBC 5 Live before with Bunty, but it was over Zoom. It was during the pandemic. So obviously this time they asked me to do it. They'd asked me to be at the fight. So when I was on my way down to Leeds, I was listening to like podcasts and stuff just to get some info. And then they mentioned it being outside, and I thought, oh my God, it didn't even spring to my mind that it was outside. I had a little blouse on. So I was freezing. I was sat with Bunty's big suit jacket on all night. But I was just so close to the ring. I could touch the ring apron. It was unbelievable. That's probably one of the best experiences in boxing I've ever had. It was unbelievable.
I got to say, I was front row and you managed to get a better seat than me. So you did very well, Savannah. Now, look, I know we're speaking about the job you got at hand on October 16th, but I have to ask, the Clarissa Shields fight, all being well October 16th, how close is it?
I'm being told that fight's nearly 99% being made. That is how close that fight is.
Is that going to be in the UK?
Yeah, it will be in the UK. Just, obviously, Peter can't get into America, and I'd rather it be in the UK.
All right, Savannah, I appreciate you got a lot of media to get through today. So I'll leave you to it. Hopefully it doesn't drag on too long, but thank you as always, speaking of Boxing Social.
Thanks, Ryan.